everyone, this is Roberta Montagnini here, and in today's video I will show you how I edited this image. So here is the before and the after. I hope you enjoy the video. What I'm gonna do is a technique called frequency separation. What I do, I duplicate the layer twice. I name the first layer texture. I'll just name it for education purposes because it's easier, and I'll name the other layer blur. I'll put them inside a folder and I'll put frequency separation layer. Okay, so now I'll just hide the texture, and I'm gonna click on the blur, and I'm gonna go on filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and here I'm gonna make the image look blurry. Because every image is different, you make sure when you're doing your image the blur is just a little bit higher than, until you, let's say there is a pore on her skin, so here almost nothing. So as soon as the pores start to disappear, that's when it should be. Yeah, I think 7.6 is fine for this image. So okay, I'm happy with my blur layer. Now I will click on texture and I'll go to image, apply image. On the apply image, on the layer session, I'm going to select the blur layer, sorry, here. On the blending, you select subtract. Just make sure the settings are like mine, so channel RGB, and the blending subtract, opacity 100%, scale 2, and offset 128. Just go with this number and it should be fine. So click OK. You select your texture. Now make sure you're on the texture layer, and you go to this menu here and you go to linear light. So right now, before I start, I'm gonna put the texture and the blur inside a green folder. Select your clone tool, make sure the opacity is set to 100% and flow as well. So now that you have your clone tool selected and your opacity and flow are set to 100%, you need to start cloning the texture layer. I'm now gonna fast forward until I'm done cloning all the areas that I need. Now that the texture layer is done and the skin texture is fixed, we can work on the blur layer, which is the color layer of the image. Make sure you're on the blur layer now, select the lasso tool and set the feather to 32%. The feather will keep the blending of colors smooth. Make small selections on the skin with the lasso tool. And go to the layers menu, blur, and then Gaussian blur. Check the preview box to see the intensity of the blur and click OK once you're happy. And just a little tip that I do, just remember that certain areas of an image will require a higher blend. So what I do, I just pick a lower number that I can duplicate. So I just click my shortcut twice and applies the blur 2 times on that specific area. One thing that I like to do as well, once my images are finished, I like enhancing the eyes. So I always go to my dodge tool and I'll just make the eyes a little bit more light and bring a little bit more light into it so it pops a little bit more. Another thing that I like doing is to enhance the makeup or add makeup to my photograph. This will make the image pop and look more glamorous. Another thing that I love doing is glamorizing my photograph even more by adding eyelashes. However, for that, you definitely need a drawing tablet, like a Wacom into a Cintiq or something you can have a precise stroke when drawing. And lastly, my final trick is to just give a little cheekbone, just an enhance, especially if the person in the photograph has cheekbones. It doesn't really hurt adding a little dimension to the face. This is it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions or editing requests. I hope you all have a great day. Bye now.